A very warm welcome in the fourth module of week 1 of the course Roadmap for Patent Creation, titled IP and Future Areas to Explore. In this module, we will be discussing the future or advanced areas in the IP domain. So, let us begin. The future journey in IP domain. Please meet John Doom. Today he will be with us. After going through the last module titled What is IPR, you might have appreciated various types of IP and related laws. Probably, you might have perceived vast nature of IP field. Going further in this module, we will see the future upcoming areas and the complexity related to it. The question in your mind will be why we should know about future areas of IP when we are now still understanding the basic of IPR. There are two main reasons. The first reason behind introducing this topic, an overview of the future areas in IP, is that as a country we are still struggling with IP awareness, and the world is embracing future technologies with very fast pace, which will be predominantly IP protected. Understanding this future growth and upcoming developments in the IP domain may help you to think differently about the current technology field in which you are working. You can explore your current technology field about which you are passionate. You can explore your area of interest very differently and efficiently using various IP tools provided or made available due to advances in IP field. The second reason to introduce this module is, as technology is growing, complexity of law, especially IP law, is increasing. With the upcoming developments in areas like artificial intelligence, blockchain and their applications in various sectors, this complexity of IP law is becoming challenging. So, it is becoming important now, rather indispensable, to understand IP law, which will give you competitive advantage. To explain it with an technology domain, we will take an example. Suppose you are working in the area of artificial intelligence. Now, you will say how AI, that is artificial intelligence, and IP is connected. Just a simple example. Suppose by using AI, if new creative thing is developed, then who is the owner of that creativity? Think. A machine which created it, or a person, or a group of a person who developed machine, or who else? The other example, recent case of a car accident by a driverless car, no driver. So, against whom the case should be filed? The car maker, or the machine, that is a car, or the group of people who developed this technology which helped the car to be driverless, or whom? Think over. So, because of these two reasons, that is fast paced technology and competitive advantage, and second, complexity of law, we have introduced this overview of future developments in IP domain. With limitation of time, we will just touch base upon these new areas of IP. Just like in earlier module, we have got the glimpses of various types of IP other than patent. Similarly, here we will see the glimpses of future areas, and then from the next module we will focus on patent. Okay? So, here we go. Which are these future IP areas organizations are exploring? First, IP audit. Second, IP portfolio and its management. Third, patent informatics, which is also called as patent informatics or patent analytics. Fourth is IP valuation. Fifth is IP and bank loan. Sixth is IP insurance. Seventh is technology transfer. Eighth is IP strategy. Ninth is IP management, and the 10th is patent trolls. There are a few more, however, we will just take a look these 10 areas. Probably you might have heard a few of these words and may be aware about it. Let us start with the first one, IP audit, a most important topic through which you can easily identify potential IP. You have heard about the word audit. Immediately you have started thinking about finance, right? So, same meaning here, audit is different. Audit will be perceived differently by account person or finance person, and under management of IP, this will be perceived differently. Of course, we will not go in much details of it. Just for our understanding, we will take an example and with this we will try to understand what it is exactly. So, take an example of your college or a school in which you are working or learning, or maybe the example of the organization in which you are working, or take an example of a MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises, anything. So, what will be IP audit of your college or school or organization or MSME? It will be a process by which you will examine the various activities carried out within the organization or a college or a school with the IP perspective. So, what that examination is? When we say IP audit, we check the processes related to IP management, and we will check if they are in a right place or not. We will check the performance level of each and every process. You will say, what are these processes? There are almost 100 plus processes related to IP management. We check these individual processes, we will check whether you are following these processes, and if you are following them, what is the performance level of that process. For example, if it is an academic institute, that is college or a school, then we will check which are the processes related to IP management that the school or that college is following. Then we will check the performance level of that process. Then we will create audit report. So, step by step we will just come to the final audit report. We will assess the performance level of that organization with respect to IP management. As per IP management of an organization, there are 5 different levels of organization. We will not go in the details of that. So, we will just check that at which level your organization is. So, we will help you to identify the level where you are standing, and this whole IP process will help you. Along with understanding the level, you will also come to know that which are the potential IP you are owning right now. So, which you can immediately consider for patent filing. The experience is, generally although you are not aware about your potential IP, with IP audit you can find out at least one potential patent, or we can guide you how you can plan your activity to generate a patent. So, that will be a directed research, and through which you can have a IP. Many times you own or you possess IP like patent, but due to unawareness you cannot understand if this is patentable or not. So, in IP audit report we will dig out all such potential IP. Thus, in short, this activity helps you to identify potential IP, performance level of IP, management processes, and setting up of IP system in your organization. In academic institute, we call this IP system as a IPR cell. So, you probably might be having IPR cell in your school or in your college. So, this activity of IP audit assists you in setting up IPR cell. In the reading material, we have already included a research paper related to IP audit titled "Develop Your Own IP Management System and Self-Assess." Probably this may be of your interest. Also, we have included a small 5 to 7 minute video on this in one of the upcoming modules. So, you will get more information about this. Moving further, second area is IP portfolio. So, we have just seen what is IP audit. Now, what is IP portfolio? This is nothing but a total number of IP owned by any organization. Do you have any idea that how many patents probably an organization can have? Say for example, take an example of an organization. For example, Siemens. Do you know how many patents Siemens have? Any guess? There are almost 55,000 patents filed by this organization. Such a huge number of patents. Would you like to compare this number with our Indian organization in the same sector? Same, Crompton Greaves. What about this organization? How many patents Crompton Greaves own? Same sector, electrical engineering, almost 1000 plus patents, and this number is obviously increasing. So, same sector, electric engineering, but there is a difference in IP portfolio. This difference is due to many reasons, including the time span of organizations, but purpose of mentioning this is this will help us to understand the competition in the field. Siemens with 55,000 plus patents and Crompton Greaves with 1000 plus patents. Also, the other reason to mention this example is by studying these examples like Siemens, Crompton Greaves or any other organization which are having the good IP portfolio, we can learn from these organizations as how they have created such a huge portfolio and how they are maintaining it. Maintaining IP portfolio is like maintaining a property. So, how to manage IP portfolio to get best out of it is very important. How to manage cost of maintenance fees of a patent, because patent every year you have to give the maintenance fee for the maintaining your patent. So, how to manage that cost, and there are so many other aspects. So, if patent is filed in many countries, then how to maintain it in all those countries where it is filed. So, for example, generally big organizations like Siemens or Crompton Greaves, they file one patent in many countries. So, these organizations file one patent in almost 20 or 25 countries where the market is. Then in such scenario, how they are managing it? What about revenue? How they are generating revenue? Things like this and many more other aspects are taken care under IP portfolio management. So, here not only patent, but obviously trademark, then industrial design, such other IPs are also involved. So, next is patent informatics or a patent analytics. Now, this we should know in little more detail, because it is very important area. When we will be dealing with research project planning in week 6, 7 and 8, we will see this patent informatics in more detail. This is first step for any research planning, and hence we have dedicated one module for this in the week 2 of the course. This is again a very vast domain. However, just to give you idea what is it, we will take example. Suppose you are working in mechanical engineering domain. Within mechanical engineering, say you are working on a particular machine which is say related to waste management. So, here if you know PAT informatics, how you can use it? You can use this PAT informatics to check the other patents already filed in this domain. Then after analyzing this domain, you get the idea about what exactly is going on in this domain, and then you can further analyze it, and there is a possibility to understand the technology trend in the domain. So, with this you can anticipate where the technology is moving. Once you know this basic information, you can plan your research in this domain. So, definitely you will not do the same thing which others have already done. And second, you will think ahead of time, so novelty aspect is taken care. What this technology trend is, what is this novelty aspect, how this can be used in research or project planning, all these things we will learn in module 6, 7 and 8. So, this PAT informatics is an indispensable activity when you are going or when you are doing any research project. Next or fourth area is IP valuation. You know property valuation, am I right? Suppose you want to buy a property and for that you want a loan from the bank then what bank asks you? They say please show or bring property valuation report. Then bank will give you contact details of experts or property consultants who are expert in property valuation. He or she will visit your flat, bungalow or the property you own or you want to purchase, and then they will do market research and provide you valuation report, correct? Now, based on the property valuation, you get the bank loan. Sometimes you do this activity to sell your property, sometimes you do this activity to purchase any property. Now, this activity helps you to calculate appropriate cost of your property. So, same thing here. In this IP valuation, valuation is done of your intellectual property, that is patent or copyright or trademark or industrial design, any IP. Now, please check these examples. So, I am giving you the examples of a trademark valuation. So, check the example of a Google. The trademark value of Google is $44.3 billion. Microsoft trademark value is $42.8 billion. Walmart, it is a $36.2 billion. Vodafone, it is $30.7 billion. Apple, it is $29.5 billion. So, with this you can see how the IP is valued, and based on that you can decide or you can manage your IP based on this valuation. Okay. Now, the next area is a IP and bank loan. It is another area to be explored. Now, you probably might be surprised how IP is related to bank loan. Generally, we think bank can give loan on property like home, gold, etc. How IP is related to loan? However, with previous sessions and the concept of IP valuation, which we have just touched base upon, you have understood that IP holds some financial value to itself as it is an intellectual property. Now, banks have started recognizing it by accepting IP as a collateral to give loans to the company or organization. This is useful especially to startups and MSMEs to raise funds. So, this is about IP and bank loan. The next is IP insurance. Generally, we have understanding that insurance is like life insurance is there, property insurance is there. Why insurance is required for IP? Again, please note IP is a type of property. So, there are also chances of theft, which we call infringement. To prove this, we have to approach court, or sometimes by ignorance you infringe some other person's IP, and this attracts litigation. As you know, litigation is very costly. So, under IP insurance you receive coverage to intellectual property. It is secured, thus it can cover legal cost of enforcement of claims and legal cost in defending. Thus, this IP insurance will help you to avoid such type of expenses which may rise due to ignorance or due to some other reasons. Now, the next area, that is a technology transfer, a very interesting area. Then here technologies which are owned by one person or organization or groups are licensed or transferred to other person or organization or groups. Such transfers are made in the anticipation of further development to the technology. Another term which could have more value in future is a IP licensing. It is an agreement made between two parties to license a specific technology to another person in lieu of monetary gain. The one who transfers his or her rights is called as a licensor, and who receives the right is called as a licensing. So, license may be exclusive or non-exclusive. What is the meaning of exclusive or non-exclusive? You can Google it. This technology transfer helps to gain monetary value. So, this is about the technology transfer. The next is IP strategy. It is very important domain where you need a visionary outlook to gain benefit from the IP. Most of the organizations use IP strategy very effectively. There are many or different types of IP strategies. Here we will just see two examples very briefly. One, patent thicketing, and the second, cross licensing. The term patent thicket means a dense web of overlapping intellectual properties. It is also called as a patent floods. It is basically means that a specific field of technology, there are so many patents potentially held by different owners, so that they may overlap in their protective scope. In other words, it is a single technology which is having many patents, and these are probably owned by a single applicant. Here organizations cover up that patents, and there is a what we call as a flooding of patents. This strategy helps organization to secure their core technology. Other strategy example is a cross licensing, where a part of particular IP is transferred to another party in lieu of a license to another part of an IP. Cross licensing can happen between two or more persons or entities. So, this is about the IP strategy. The next is, that is the ninth, IP management. IP management is a continuous and ever going task in any corporation or organization. The process mainly includes generation of IP, identification of potential IP, protection decisions, maintenance of IP, and IP commercialization. Identifying the IP is a first challenging task. As shared earlier, IP audit helps in identification of potential IP. In the next step, decision on the protection of IP is taken, like registration of patent or trademark or industrial design, any type of IP. The next step involves taking decision on the commercialization of IP by the organization. This involves internal usage, that is in-house use of IP to develop a product, or the other is that technology transfer, that is licensing out. Management also involves various other activities such as evaluation of IP, enforcement related decisions related to acquisition and merging, IP maintenance related decisions, and so on. So, this is about the IP management. Now, the next, that is a 10th, is a patent troll. You are aware about the word troll, right? Trolling is generally a derogatory term. We generally hear this term in the news that somebody has been trolled. So, what do you understand by patent troll then? We mention this here to make you aware about such entities which may take undue advantage of it. You may have a limited knowledge of a IP, and if you are unaware about IP troll, that may be harmful to you in one or the other way. So, what exactly this IP troll is? These trolls take benefit of ignorance of the individual. These trolls are those company or entity or individual that obtains the right to one or more patents or withholds certain claims in specific field of technology. This holding rights is not for positive activity of producing product or services. However, this activity is for profit by means of licensing or litigation. Often such infringement suits tend to demand more damages than the actual worth of the patent. So, that is all about the patent troll. With this, we come to the end of this session. In the next session, an introduction to patent, we will see an interesting case where a single patent helped inventor to build a giant organization. That is, from single patent, a company is incubated by an inventor, and the competitive advantage due to patent help him to build a giant organization worth of $1 billion. So, see you in the next session. Thank you.